What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back into the Warframe video. So, welcome back to another episode of This Week in Warframe, where we go over the entire weekly reset, and also news as far as what you can expect this week as a Warframe player. This week is really stacked, honestly, so there's a lot to go over. Additionally, I am not really feeling the greatest right now, so I'm going to be going to the doctor after this video goes up. So there will not be a live stream tonight, but I will be live tomorrow with the weekly reset, and we've also got some drops going tomorrow too. So if you want to come stop by, we got things like Blue Tor, Lazulite Toroid, got a new glyph, and we got some relic packs too. So I'll be live tomorrow, right when those go live on the live stream channel. Come on, stop by if you have not already. All right, let's get right into the weekly reset stuff, and we can also talk about a ton of news we have for this week in Warframe. Now, as far as your first weekly reset item, we have a shotgun ribbon at Teshin for 75 steel essence. If that's worth it to you, feel free. There's weapons like the Felarks, and there's no Tigers Incarnon yet, but there's still plenty of good shotguns. And there's infested liches are confirmed for TennoCon this year, so some infested shotguns even could get some ribbons too. So that's the first thing. Now, of course, we do have the drops starting tomorrow, and there will be actually 3 weeks of drops. So there's going to be the last week's going to have an Archon Shards to drop too, so the last week you're definitely going to want to check it out. But as far as this week, Dante Unbound is actually coming out on this Wednesday. And additionally, the anniversary, the 11th anniversary, is already started, and you can get the new Dex Nikana weapon for signing in starting on Wednesday when the Dante Unbound update comes out. So I'll go ahead and link the entire anniversary site, but yeah, this week there's going to be the Dex Nikana starting out. It's not, you don't have to sign this week, but it starts this week. Also, the Dex Doc roll will be available starting the 29th from a login alert too. Alright, so moving over to Archides over here, we are going to be having her weekly stuff. Now, I do want to point out as well, guys, that since the call missions are being basically retired as far as I'm concerned, the Deep Archimedeans are going to be starting on Wednesday as well, and we don't know actually if the Archimedean or if the Netrocells are resetting. So I'm going to show you Pablo's tweet here in a second. Let's just first go over this. So we have 3 ribbon mods. We've got 2 melee ribbons and a pistol ribbon, each for Pathos clamps. We've got an Exilus Warframe adapter and 5k Kuva. If you care about any of this stuff, feel free. There is going to be a new melee weapon and a new pistol weapon during the Dante Unbound update. They're both going to be Incarnons too, so it might actually be worth picking these up for once. But yeah, so we don't know if Netrocells are being reset, but we do have a tweet from one of the lead devs, Pablo, about what they're suggesting about Netrocells resetting. So if we do basically someone asked them on Twitter, this was a couple days ago, if we do our Netrocells before the weekly reset, rather before the Dante Unbound update, will they reset? This is what Pablo said. It's a little bit confusing, so I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I am not doing Netrocells until we get further information, or if the update comes out, whichever one is first. But I would recommend that you guys do not do your Netrocells until this comes out. But what Pablo said, see this question pop up a few times, community team will share the specifics, which they have not, but we have accounted for this, and you will be fine even if you spend your keys early. But then he says after that, do remember we are improving drops of Netrocells, so might want to wait regardless. I don't understand what he means by that, might want to wait regardless, so I'm going to wait regardless. I did reach out to DE for comment on this for some clarification. They did not provide it, so as of right now, I am not doing my Netrocells until we get further information. Okay, we're just going to move on to the first weekly here. We're going to have the normal circuit, and let's see what frames we got in the normal circuit. So we got Saren, Vauban, and Nova. So Vauban comes from Nightwave Creds, Saren comes from Kayla to Fame, and Nova comes from the Jackal, I think it's called. That's actually called the Raptor on Phobos, I believe it is. So really easy to farm here. Honestly, one of the easiest frames of the game to farm. We got Saren over here. She's pretty easy to farm, but Kayla to Fame is a pretty annoying boss fight and requires some judgment points to farm her. End of the day, Vauban is probably the most annoying to farm because he requires Nightwave Creds, and Nightwave Creds are limited in quantity. But yeah, if you want to get the Nova Helmet ability, Null Star for Titania or for whoever, easy way to get it there. The Helmet ability on Vauban is Tesla Nervos, pretty decent, not the most used. And the Helmet ability on Saren is Molt, making it where you have a Molt illusion that gives you easy shield gate and a speed buff. I'd say go for Vauban just because you can save on some Nora Creds. And that's going to really be up to you. They're not the hardest frames to farm. Moving on to the Steel Path Deviri here. We have a pretty tame week. Just a reminder though, if you haven't played in a while, you can pick Ribbons and Kuva instead of Incarnons if you already have all the Incarnons, because there's not really much reason to have duplicate Incarnons. Alright, let's start off with the recommendations here. The first one's going to be the Archon INCARNON Genesis. The INCARNON form makes it have more crit, and also makes it have built-in fire damage, and it's an AoE exploding bullet. Sounds pretty good, but the problem is this thing has pretty bad fire rate, and it has the competition of the Burst-in INCARNON just being a better version of it, pretty much. I think the Archon INCARNON could use a buff, honestly. I do not use it very often. Some of the INCARNONs used to be really good, but they actually bug fixed them to not be too good, so they're just normal now. So yes, if you still have your your Breton Prime or your Mark 1 Breton or your Breton Normal, you can buy this and heavily upgrade that thing, but it's really not viewed as a super positive like by most players, because it's just a worse version of the Burst INCARNON, because of the lower fire rate and lower ammo. The Leto INCARNON, this is basically just for collectors. There's a Leto Prime if you were an original founder, but everyone else has to use the Leto Vandal or the Leto Normal. And the INCARNON form makes basically a ricochet shot. If you think of the dual toxist INCARNON, chains the nearby enemies, it's like that, but single target. Probably hits a little bit harder per bullet at least, but yeah, it's semi-auto, so it's not really going to be, mowing through a huge group of enemies, but relatively decent. If you're an original founder of the Leto Prime, hurry up and get this before it goes away, because the Leto Prime is actually better than the Leto Vandal and the Leto Normal, so whatever. This is just really not a highly regarded one, just like this one. And the Skana INCARNON here, now, for endo farming, Prisma Skana INCARNON can be okay, as there's a really nice auto melee setup for this. But for the general player base, it's just a normal sword. Normal sword with really good stats. The INCARNON form is going to stun nearby enemies when you enter INCARNON form or after doing a finisher. So think of it like a little bit like Excalibur's Radio Blind whenever you get a finisher with this weapon. It can have some really, really high crit stats, though, if you do get the Prisma Skana. And Baro Katir just had the Prisma Skana, so you might want to get this. It's a really hard-hitting sword, but just a pretty normal sword at the end of the day. Last two here, we got the Paris INCARNON. The INCARNON form will make this Railgun Arrow. It's a big AoE arrow with ridiculously high status chance. There is a special Exilus mod called Visage Ball that only works on the Paris Prime, and that will give this thing a ton of status chance. We're talking like 200% crit chance and 200% status chance with some builds on this thing. So really crazy good. But the problem is it's the exact same thing as the Dread. So if you already have the Dread INCARNON, it's the same thing with just like, instead of really insanely high crit, has insanely high status. But this thing actually is better in my opinion because it's hybrid crit and status. So really good stuff. But yeah, if you want to try it out, it's just a Railgun Arrow Bow. And for the final one here, a underrated one for sure, the Kunai INCARNON. It's going to be INCARNON form to create homing, headshot, multi-shot projectiles. It is only going to hit one enemy at a time, unfortunately. But if you want a level 10,000 Thrax Destroyer, this is one of my go-tos for at least Ivara, because Ivara has a headshot multiplier built into her abilities, or an increased headshot multiplier for that matter, and this is going to be giving guaranteed headshots, so it's really good with Ivara. And Ivara is going to be getting that invisibility change on Wednesday too, so might be worth picking up. So as far as the overall recommendations this week, I'd say maybe go like Paris and Kunai, but really that, a lot of people probably have that Prisma Skana from Baro, so maybe if you want a good melee weapon, it's a really hard-hitting sword. I would not really recommend the Breton or the Leto. Like every INCARNON is good, but these are just kind of viewed as not the best because they're just better versions of it. The dual toxicist INCARNON, straight up better than the Leto. The Burst INCARNON, basically just straight up better than the Breton too. So yeah, I'd say number one, number two are going to be one of these three on the side over here, with probably number one being whatever you feel like. You want a primary, a melee, or a secondary. They're all going to be good for level 10,000s. The Skana will probably be the most used, though, for a lot of people. All right, moving on to the Archon Hunt. Let's see what we got. So reminder, there is going to be Archon Shard Fusion added on Wednesday, too. So I would say you can do these tonight and, like, before the update, but careful on those Netra cells before the update, just because we don't have, like, concrete information from the community team yet. Yeah, we got a yellow Archon Shard, or amber Archon Shard Hunt, with the Snake Archon mission types Rescue, Defense, and the Final Boss Showdown. I will not be live tonight, because I am feeling sick. I'm going to be going to the doctor here. But yeah, if you guys want to knock this out on stream with me tomorrow, I will be live with those drops. Okay. And the update's not until Wednesday, but there will be drops starting tomorrow. The final call mission of all time, at least in these videos. I'll do them when no one's looking in the future, but we've got a Archon... So also remember, the Archon Shard from this guy is being moved, Chipper, is being moved to the Kavia. Got a red Archon Shard at Chipper. Oh, no one likes what you got. That's why we're moving it away, dude. We got the worst call mission ever, just to make you cry. We have Prison Break, so the challenger can be complete without dying. Remove 5 Veils with the Veil Breaker. Kill 3 enemies with melee. Wow, really hard one there. Get 5 kills within 5 seconds. Kill 20 enemies, and find the 4 passcodes to unlock the cache. This one is really annoying in this tile. But yeah, guys, So someone did point this up on my Discord server earlier. If you do buy this shard from Chipper, like right now, when they reset that, or when the update comes out on Wednesday, you'll probably be able to buy another shard from the Kavia for where their new spot is going to be on Wednesday. So maybe buy this one sooner rather than later if you have the stock for it. And you might get a second shard later in the week. All right, moving on to the Nightwave. There is no news on this Nightwave ending, so no rush at all. They usually give us at least 2 weeks notice before the Nightwave goes away. Okay, so as far as the challenges, Earth Miner get 3 rare gems in the Orvalis, or Plains of Eidolon. Not the Orvalis. Get 3 rare gems or ore in the Plains of Eidolon, not the Orvalis. Not on a warning shot, get 100 kills with headshots. Okay, easy. Complete a survival mission reaching at least 20 minutes is your first Elite Weekly survival. Next one, Elite Weekly, exchange 10 Riven slivers for a Riven mod. That's going to be Paladin on Iron Wake. To do that, it's going to reset on a weekly basis. So pretty easy one there. Kill 30 Eximus is one of your permanent weeklies. Complete 15 missions, and kill 500 enemies. Your permanent weeklies. They'll always be here. Alright, for the Nightwave cred store this week, let's see what we got. So we have a Gauss helmet, we got a Citrine helmet, lots of good stuff here. Nubis helmet for the Anaros rework coming out on Wednesday. The Goth helmet. So if you think any of these look cool, be my guest. But as far as the Aura mods and returning Nightwave Augment mods, we got Shield Disruption, Pistol Scavenger, Shotgun Scavenger, EMP Aura, and Wild Frenzy. Funny enough, I think this is a week that there's actually no good Aura mods available. That's kind of funny. None of these Aura mods are actually good. Just remove the enemy shields, not used unless it's a thing DE forgot about and it gets patched out the next day. EMP Aura, enemy Corpus, lose accuracy, never even noticed it working. Shotgun Scavenger used to be used on the Comb. Pistol Scavenger used to be used on the Twin Comac. Besides that, yeah, I mean, not really using these things too much at all. Wild Frenzy with the Gurkata gives you a crazy amount of fire rate as a new alt-fire mode. Getting multiple kills will refund the ammo to your ammo pool, not to the magazines. Just keep that in mind. It does not give you a permanent magazine. It will just give you returned ammo on kills. Okay, so we look at the Heat Sword. Okay, so not a great Nightwave store this week, to be honest. We got the Heat Sword blueprint, and as far as the augment mods down here, we got Deceptive Bond for Loki, which will probably not be... I'll have a new Loki build video out soon, but this will not be getting used in the video, that's for sure. Brainstorm for the Gurkata. We got 2 Gurkata mods this week. This one gives permanent ammo, or 100% ammo efficiency on headshot, which just means permanent ammo. Yeah, I mean, you could probably just run both of those at the same time, I guess. Skull Shots, the Viper doing the exact same thing on headshot, 100% ammo efficiency, so guaranteed full ammo all the time for both those mods. And Double Tap for the Latron, giving increased damage as you get consecutive hits. And this does work on the Incarnon form, I think. They patched it like 2 or 3 times to make it work, and I think it does finally work now. That's your Nightwave cred store. Let's go take a look at the Incarnons not the Incarnons, the Invigorations. Sorry, I'm super out of it. I'm definitely going to the doctor right after this. And I'm hoping I'm good by tomorrow, but yeah, it's been a pretty rough week for me. You might notice I'm not streaming as much this week. Alright, so let's take a look at what we got here. So for the Dante Unbound update, guys, I am looking for frames that will be good for killing these new Necromech Demolists, because they're seeming like they're going to be really tanky. So yeah, I see that Volt. I see Volt right there. If that's a Volt Invigoration, it might be a Volt kind of situation with these new Necromechs. So either way, if you want to get access to this stuff, you have to get rank 3, actually you have to get rank 5 with the Deimos Necrolisk Syndicate, or you can just buy it in the market for like 300 plat to get this unlocked. Let's see what we got. These are random busts per player per week. Okay, so for Trinity, we have primary critical chance and 75% ability efficiency. That could be good with her one augment like Champion's Blessing to get a ton of crit chance, and also ability efficiency to spam abilities constantly. Decent one for Trin. We got a melee critical chance and 1,000 extra health for Grendel. Okay, I don't really use melee. I do use melee and Grendel quite often, actually. I just don't really think that I'll be using Grendel at all, because Grendel has a worse version of Nourish than the Helmuth version, because of the convenience of it. But yeah, either way, pretty decent one for Grendel, I suppose. And then the last one, please be good. Okay, a decent one for Volt. We got 100% increased ability duration and +2 built-in energy rate. So if I wasn't using Nourish Volt, that energy rate would get multiplied by to like whatever. So an acceptable one for Volt. I mean, I could definitely sacrifice some duration on the build with this for even more power strength. So relatively good stuff. Go watch my How to Prepare for Dante video from like a couple days ago if you want some info on how to prepare for the Dante guide, or for the Dante update. I'll be going to the doctor right now, and I will not be on stream, but I will be live on stream tomorrow, guys, at probably about 11 a.m. ET with some drops. You want to come get the relic pack and all that stuff, come stop at my live stream, and we'll hang out. All right, I'll see you next time. Good luck getting those Tau Shards, and yeah, do Netracells this week at your own risk. And we have tons of stuff coming out with the anniversary this week, too. So you guys take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Peace!